Times change. That's one reason why a minigame compilation with demented rabbits was good in 2006 and annoying 5 years later. But if you don't like that one, there are plenty of others. How about the fact that motion controls in video games seem to have actually regressed since then? How about the fact that controllers, even ones you're waggling, almost always work better than a camera? Or maybe it's because these hairy hairs just aren't as funny as they used to be. For these reasons and more, Rabbids Alive and Kicking just doesn't have the same impact on Kinect as the original Raving Rabbids did on the Wii. That game was an effective collection of ideas for motion controls in video games. Ideas we had the gumption to assume would evolve as time went on. But yet here we are, 5 years later, being slapped in the face with the hard truth. Those ideas have stagnated. Rabbids Alive and Kicking is built from the same stale ideas we saw half a decade ago, only with half the minigames, half the charm, and half the fun. Alive and Kicking takes the Rabbids back to their roots. Unlike more recent Rabbids games, this is a minigame compilation developed exclusively for Kinect. In theory, this could be entertaining. In practice, it's anything but. The minigames in this compilation feel tired from the start, and with the novelty of the game's activities and characters faded, you're left with a game that should have been released 4 years ago, and even then, it wouldn't have been very good. Now, there are a little more than 30 minigames in Alive and Kicking. Just for comparison, the first Raving Rabbids had about 70 minigames, and to that game's credit, many of them were genuinely well designed. They used the Wii Remote in clever ways that felt like a taste of what motion control could offer video games. These games, they use motion in far less clever ways, to put it mildly. Where Rabbids minigames were once an exciting look at the future's potential, they now bear a simple message. The days of developers thinking creatively about motion control are over. So which ones did I actually like? Well, there was this one. It was kind of like Lemmings, and you had to guide Rabbids to a hole. I mean, otherwise, just about every game on this f***ing disc involved slapping bunnies. That's no fun when it doesn't actually work, and even then, still not that much fun. You could argue there's still life in motion gaming. Dance Central and the Gunstringer prove Kinect games can be thoughtful and based on more than just controllerless waggle, but those two are heavily outnumbered by games like this. Alive and Kicking is a step backward, not only for Kinect, but for motion control in general. And especially for Ubisoft's Rabbids. Remember when they upstaged Rayman, and then Ubisoft dropped the Rayman branding from the Rabbids games altogether, and it seemed like Rayman was the one who was outdated? You know, the same Rayman who stars in one of the best games of 2011, while the Rabbids stare at me. And we argue. It's funny how times change.
Oh.